Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
So let's do it. Let's get into it. I know you got some topics.
Yeah, we got some topics, man. Chris James, Stephen Michael, cool Hollywood Steven.
They call him
Hollywood Steven.
Hollywood.
Hollywood
That's actually not bad.
Steven.
Vacation Steve.
I was
Hollywood
call him
Steven.
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Why you call him Cool Ranch?
The blue. If you remember, like the Cool Ranch, the Doritos, they had the blue packaging.
Someone said
ain't
Vacation
even got no
Steve
blue
entered
on.
the chat. It's my glasses.
That's like
You see the tent?
like gray. That look gray.
It looks
blue.
great. Are you colorblind?
Are you colorblind?
You can't tell that this is blue.
Are you colorblind, bro?
That looks gray.
It looks. Do you think I have great glasses on?
I just said it was blue.
That's like, it's not blue.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That settles that.
Privé Revo.
Come on, man.
What does that mean?
Hey, man.
Privé Revo. What does that mean?
That's Jamie Foxx's line,
You know
or at
what
least
I'm
the
saying?
Oh, that's Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Oh, those are clean.
or that's the brand he represents. I don't know if it's his.
I think
or if he's
I
invested.
don't know if he created it, but he,
I think he's invested in it.
Hollywood Steven.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are clean. But he only bought those. He like it's $5, some shit like that.
No.
Wow.
No. Okay, I think not you bought those and it cost $5.
Yeah, because they definitely didn't.
But Jamie Foxx, his
think he
story.
invested
No.
$5?
The reason why he started his sunglasses company is because he got some sunglasses for like $5, and he thought they looked really good. And so he was just like, man, you don't have to make these like crazy expensive sunglasses in order to look good. And so that's where he got the idea to come out with some affordable sunglasses that look good.
I mean, they're definitely affordable, but they're not like designer price, you know. But I wouldn't call them cheap.
They're mid tier.
Yeah.
He actually filled. I've been reading this book. It's called.
You
Jeez.
reading books?
I've been learning, man. Mel, quit trying to take my. He keep taking my stuff. He keeps taking my focus, man. I thought you were putting on manual, Steve.
Yes, we're recording.
Yeah.
Steve.
Oh, okay.
We're recording, Stevie. What do you think we down here?
I don't know what's going on, man. We been down here, man. We had the water fight. You know what I'm saying? As you guys can see, we had the water gun fight.
That the water gun fight in the background.
You know, so it's been you know. That's why I got my vacation Steve entered the chat. You know,
I've been
because it
reading.
was water.
I've been reading.
What you been reading?
The Blue Ocean Strategy.
Blue Ocean. Is it a good
So-
book?
Yes, it's a very specific book. You know what I mean? It's for building business and brands and things like that.
Yeah.
But basically, they're talking about how you look at the sunglass industry, and there's different tiers, right? You've got the low tier, the $5 ones you were talking about. Jamie Foxx talking about the ones you get from the guys in the mall that are like the fake
Or
ones.
you can even give them at a gas station.
Right.
Right.
And then you have the high tier, you know what I mean, $200 Prados or whatever the case may be. What Jamie Foxx did is he created what's called a blue ocean and a red ocean. So you have a marketplace where it's fierce competition. Like any random person starting a eyeglass company, it's not going to be easy. It's even for celebrities, right?
Like the Earth and the Dark Continent. Hunter x Hunter.
Huh?
Continue.
So he basically looked at the environment, and he created a blue ocean in the sense that he's creating designer glasses for affordable prices. We'll say it's kind of a mid-tier price,
Yeah.
and that's
So-
something that doesn't exist.
Well, Shaq did the same thing with his shoes. Like, because when he first came out or whatever, he was just like, he didn't want to make shoes that were like $100 and $200. He wanted to make them affordable. And so instead of doing like what all the other athletes did. He made them cheaper, and he put them all in Walmart,
Right.
and it became one of the biggest, most selling shoe brand in Walmart. You know, because they're at affordable prices.
Right. So he used the blue. He created a blue ocean and a red ocean. You got Jordans. You got, you know what I'm saying. Everybody's making LeBron. So I was watching Kev on stage. I think it was Kev on stage. No. It was there's this YouTube channel that does these like courtroom debates. And one of the episodes they were doing Jordan is the GOAT versus LeBron is the GOAT.
Oh, I seen that.
You saw
they
that?
were in court, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony Baker.
One of the jokes was talking about how you don't even know LeBron makes shoes.
Yeah.
He's like, the reason you don't know LeBron makes shoes because he said the reason I don't wear LeBron shoes is because he makes basketball shoes. Like you're supposed to play basketball in his shoes. Yeah. Jordan just makes fashionable shoes, which is legit. Like LeBron's shoes. They're
okay.
They have a functionality, is what he was saying. I've never worn.
I have a pair.
You could fit them though. Like I'm sure they
the ones
come,
I have I bought is size 14 and
they don't come
too
in
tight.
15.
They were sold out.
Oh.
And I was like, I'll get the 14.
Oh, they probably only be getting like 1 or 2 pairs.
I wanted to touch on. I don't really want to talk about. Okay, there was a school shooting that happened, right?
Oh my god.
There was a school shooting that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we say, "Oh my god," for you don't want to talk about kids?
Go ahead.
There was the school shooting that happened, and it's kids getting killed, and now I guess they're bringing up the gun laws thing again. And so I guess, obviously, what are your thoughts on the school shootings, and also what are your thoughts on the way that gun control is in America? Do you feel that people should give away their guns, or do you feel gun laws need to be more stricter? What are your thoughts on gun laws and also the effects that that the school shootings have on the influence of guns?
So I guess first things first. I mean, I don't have an issue with them with more strict gun laws, and when I say by more strict, I just mean, I don't have a problem with people getting a background check. I don't have a problem with, them asking certain questions, and for you to buy a gun. I don't particularly have a problem with that. I don't personally own a gun. I don't feel that I need one at this point. I'm not saying I have any issues with them. I don't really have too much of a stance one way or the other. I'm fairly neutral on this point. When it comes to like the school shootings and stuff, I mean, at the end of the day, these people that are shooting up schools, they have parents. And if their parents own guns, then they have access to them. So, I mean, even adding more strict gun laws does not particularly stop the school shootings. Like, how did a 17-year-old buy a gun in the first place? Was it his? Who even knows, right? Or they can also, if you have a couple dollars, you can get them illegally. You know what I mean? Like, depending on where you live at. So, it's not, at the end of the day, I see the outcry, and of course I have children in that same age range. Like it's a concern, but I don't think that is really the answer. Just saying, let's just take the guns. Like, you look at like Europe, for example, and like it's illegal to have guns, but if you have them, then you have more power. So a lot of their gangs and stuff have more power than like our gangs, right? Because I believe a lot of their police don't even carry guns.
Right.
So it's just like no guns for anybody. Like you can still legally get them. So, for real, I would look at Russia, where they actively teach children about guns, and they teach gun safety, and they teach how to handle them and how to be careful with them. And I think that education is more important than anything. It's the same thing when I think about like emotions and I think about health. The more information that you have about it and you've learned about it, then you're more apt to make a better decision. Now, will it necessarily stop people from using guns or shooting guns or da-da-da? No. I don't think that's ever going to go away. But I mean, I think that if we educate people and we get them comfortable with them, and then we teach gun safety and how they can be good, how they cannot be good, then I think that it's something that would help. But at the end of the day, I think that we're far past all that, and we've allowed this to go on for too long, and now we're just at an impasse. It's like, well, what do you do? So that's all I got.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I think a little bit of what Steve said rings true with my thoughts in the sense that we're not addressing the actual problem. Like gun control is not the problem. This is a mental health problem. And it's the same thing that we do with health and wellness in general. We always want to treat. Trying to control guns, which is something you're never going to be able to do in America, is pointless.
Right.
This is not the first time this has happened.
It's never in
These
the cycle.
school shootings happen every 10 years or whatever.
Oh, there's been hundreds of them.
Okay.
Maybe they're not as mass. We got 15 kids killed, but they happen all the time.
Well, when I looked at how they judge school shootings, it's a very broad range. Like, I think even they'll count knifing. Like, if someone gets knifed, they'll count it as a school shooting based on their, So you got to be careful with that. But my point is, this is not the first time we've seen this. Are we idiots? Like, can we not figure this thing out? Every time this happens, we talk about gun control.
Right.
Every time. Like,
Nothing happens.
And nothing helps. I don't know if more laws get passed or not. I'm sure they have changed the laws. But my point is, it keeps happening. And every time that this happens, the student was bullied. There's some type of mental health issue. So why are we not addressing the core problem? Why don't we have better? Why don't we have some form of therapy in school as one of the classes? Or even if it wasn't like you are in a therapy session, but maybe talking about those type of things that you would talk about in therapy.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Why don't we build better curriculums and things to support children mentally so they don't get mad and shoot up a school? Doesn't that make more sense?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to stop people. If I want to shoot up a school, I can get an illegal gun, just like you said. Mm-hmm. So, and it's always been weird to me that these are legal guns that people are, in a lot of these shootings. I don't want to say all of them, but a lot of the highlighted ones that we see, these are legal guns. So what you're trying to do is restrict people's legal ownership of guns. These aren't illegal guns, and you still don't stop the illegal guns. So stop focusing on that. It's not helping. It's not working. You know what I mean?
It's a smoke screen, man.
Yeah.
That's
And that's what they do. That's what they do with everything. We never talk about core problems, about anything.
Yeah, I think that if they actually took money and actually invested into the education system, like, seriously, then that would dramatically help. Number one, increase the pay for teachers. Teachers don't get paid enough. I mean, look at this last couple years, everything they've been doing, talking about putting them on the front lines with COVID. They're on the front lines with, they're basically glorified babysitters, like that are supposed to now teach, right? That are now supposed to teach your kids, that are supposed to, so you can go work. I mean, when summer comes around, parents freak out because they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my kids now, right? Like, they're basically babysitters so that you can go to work and make money. Like, teachers should start off at minimum $50,000. Just coming out of college, they should start off $50,000. There's no reason that a teacher should be working 55, 60 hours a week, making $35,000, $40,000 a year.
It's ridiculous. All that stuff they got to do at home.
Yeah, it's nonstop. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then, you could literally, and obviously don't put this on the teacher, but then hire one person that a counselor, not a counselor, but someone who actually teaches, like CBT, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy, and teach children how to become more emotionally intelligent, because they're starting and they're learning it from YouTube and they're learning it from these things, and they're using words that we hear as trigger words, but it's like they don't really know what this means, Like when a child says, well, I'm being bullied, they just hear it on YouTube and that just means they're getting picked on. Bullied, when we think of bullied, we're thinking a very specific thing. Like they're getting pushed in lockers, or they're getting told that they're stupid, or like they're
drinking toilet water.
Like when I hear bullied, it is a a more intense version of getting picked on. So teaching them how to understand their emotions and how to actually use their words in those ways, and then how to cope with these things properly, will be much better than taking away guns. Like, that's not the core issue. And more money needs to go into the education system, and have people that specifically teach certain things so that as students get older, they have somewhere to go, they have someone they can talk to, and you take some of that pressure off of your math teacher who's not trained for that stuff.
Yeah. How were you all's experience in school? Like, have you all had like incidents, maybe not as intense as like someone coming to shoot up a school, but maybe like fights? You know, I know fights were a typical thing in my school, you know.
How did you handle those situations?
Well, when I was in school,
Back in my day.
back in my good old day, my school was right up the street from me.
Okay.
You know, so we used to walk to school. But, I mean, our school was rowdy, but we never had anything intense as a gun shooting thing. You know, like, you know, we had fights, you know. I remember we used to torture this Mr. O'Connor
The teacher.
in 5th grade because he took the place of Miss Leanhart because she was on she was pregnant, so she was on maternity leave or whatever. So he was a replacement. Torture that dude.
Oh, man.
The funny thing is, like, I feel bad thinking back.
What you did to him?
Oh man, like I used to talk back like crazy. I remember one thing that I said to him. I was just like, "Man, shut up talking to me." He's like, "What?" I said, "Shut up talking to me before I slap the taste out your mouth."
Oh, wow.
Then the whole class was like,
Oh!
"Oh."
He goes up the taste out your mouth.
I was just like, "Oh man!" I was just like, "What's good?" You know what I mean? And then-
You bullied the teacher.
You bully, and he can't do anything.
He can't do anything.
Back then, they probably could do more than they could do now.
Nah, you Will Smithed him because
Oh, wow.
yeah, you did
Yeah.
because he was in a position where he essentially couldn't fight back. You had all the power and you abused it.
that's so bad.
You know, it happens now though, and it's worse because I have friends that are teachers, and I have one friend who constantly tells me about students who talk bad. They use obviously derogatory names, and the one student found her Instagram and sent her a message personally to her, called her an N-word. Like it was like, I don't want, you know what I mean,
Bro, just thinking about
it's crazy.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, we don't know what the kid has going on, but think about it like this:
Why is the teacher getting that
the
rap?
the teacher has to deal with 15 plus kids
Yeah.
at a time.
Usually you're talking about
You talking
25,
30.
30 sometimes.
So you're getting all that energy,
it's too much.
all these personalities
Yeah.
mixing and meshing. You have to be able to take control and handle all of these different entities who have different upbringings and maybe views you a particular way. That's a lot for
Yeah.
one person.
One person.
A teacher.
Yeah.
There should be a team of teachers in the classroom.
Bro, I'm surprised teachers haven't
Bruh.
went crazy like
I mean,
that.
this is
But
they
they are-
do.
but they are.
They always
yeah.
go. They always go. They say they need more money. They have the unions. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, there's really. It's very difficult to say what amount of money makes it worth it because in the beginning it's worth it, right? But then after you deal with it for a year, you're like, it's not worth it anymore.
it's because
never
you're
enough.
It's never gonna be enough.
What they're
Right.
doing is so valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
They're shaping the minds of the next generation.
And that shape could be a lot of different ways. Because imagine this: as a teacher, if you are frustrated and you come to work, you don't want to work, you hate your job. How many you're going to care less?
Yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? Like, you know what? I'm not going to give this person much more of my attention. If they fail, they fail. If they, you know what I mean? Like, you have a certain job to do, but you're not going to give everything because you're frustrated. You don't want to go to work. So even if you're there and you're doing your job, like, you're not going to do it to the best of your ability, even if you love the kids because you're just tired of getting bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it
Once
just
again, this is what I'm talking about. That we're not solving any problems by, if we give them more money. It's the whole.
I mean, they do need more
system.
money though, but
100%.
100%. 100%. I've always said that.
Yeah.
You said 50,000.
But they're not, because this has been the
I'm
discussion
just saying,
for
starting,
years.
Yeah.
coming
This
out
has
of
been the
college. I
discussion
mean, they
since
gotta,
we've been young.
they gotta do like 6 years of
Younger, but we're
college.
still young.
Yeah, and they got to pass these tests.
Yeah, I mean, you constantly have to continue your education. 50,000 baseline,
Sure.
Nationwide.
Sure, because that's like the average, earnings for I think.
Just to start, you know what I mean?
You know what? No. I think they should be paid the amount that athletes get paid.
Right, and this is that's what I was thinking 6 figures. I think that
I think they should
Wow.
get paid
Yeah,
the amount
absolutely.
that athletes get paid.
Well,
Why?
I mean, that's
Not-
that. I
Just
mean,
just think about the world that we're living in. We're living in the world where we pay athletes or people who are just
Entertainers.
giving us entertainment.
yeah.
They're giving us entertainment, and we look up to them as icons versus the ones that are in school, the ones that are teaching you and shaping your mind, your kids.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't they get paid
Absolutely.
those amounts of money? They're affecting the world.
Our world, yeah.
Our world, our kids, especially when you're young.
Yep.
When you're young, you're so influential. You're so perceptive, and you may think that kids aren't aware and that they see everything.
They see
Right.
They see everything, because just think about when you were a kid. How are you? How are you curious?
Yep.
You're picking up on these things. So teachers and people who shape the minds of our kids, they should be paid a lot of money.
So here's I don't disagree with that, but trying to take what they make now starting to what you're talking about is a very big jump. So let's say, for example, Alabama, 38,000 starting salary, right? Arizona's 34, Arkansas 33, California, which you think, 44, Colorado 32.
insane.
These are starting salaries, right? DC 51,000, great. Florida 37,000, Georgia 34,000. This is literally like $18, $20 an hour, like maybe $25 an hour. Like this, we're like starting salaries. So this is not, we're not talking about a lot of money. And it takes you years and years and years, like 6 years of college to get that. You come out making 33? Like
So you're in an insane amount of debt.
right, you're in a right, you're in
And then the school is a pressure cooker.
right.
It's absurd. So everything's deteriorating. Everything. And it all starts with the leadership.
Right.
It's the system. It's the system that is in place. There are teachers, even if you forget about all the stuff that's happened more recently, when in let's just say 20 years ago or 30 years ago, there were teachers that were quitting because they wouldn't even let them teach.
Yeah.
Imagine how frustrating it is to be a teacher. You have all this education, you work with these children, you know them better than a freaking system that's not even a person. And the system's telling you, no, you have to do standardized testing and you have to focus, you got to teach for the test and all this other stuff.
It's just like, what's the point of me going through and doing 6 years of college and then you're going to tell me what I got to
You're
teach
going to tell me what
them?
to do.
Like, you have the curriculum, and it's just like, okay, well, you take Steven, who's highly intelligent, who has some college, who has some college credits. Like, I can go in here and I could teach. Like, I can follow your curriculum. I can read the books. Like, what is it? And this is no shot to the teachers.
No,
Like,
not
I'm
at
on
all.
your side, but what is it that a teacher is going to school for 6 years for to do?
Yeah.
Because you're telling them, well, here's the book, teach the book. Well, then you can literally take someone off the street who's got some time under their belt,
And just read
and then
this
just say,
from
well,
the book.
here, teach them this. Like, so so what is it that teachers are going to school for 6 years for? Like, they are going to school to learn how to be teachers, but they're not actually being allowed to teach.
Right.
Yeah.
This is pointless. This is why college is such a sham.
It's literally like going to a chef's like culinary art school,
Right.
And then buying microwavable food.
Right, exactly.
It's just like, okay, what is the point of learning all this extra stuff if I'm going to literally just be told that I have to what needs to be done?
Right.
It
Yeah.
takes away the true value of what a teacher is.
You ever seen those shows on like Gordon Ramsay will go into a restaurant where they're failing?
I haven't. I personally never.
Okay. So Gordon Ramsay will go into a restaurant where they're failing. They're going under. They're in massive amount of debt. Yada yada yada. And then he goes in, and one of the first things he finds, number one, they're usually dirty. People, the service staff doesn't care anymore, and it's always the owners that are the problem. But then he'll go to the cooks, and then he'll be like, okay, well, he'll start working with them, and then he'll find out that a lot of them can cook. Like, you guys can actually cook. He'll say, hey, listen, make me something, right? Just make me something. and he'll be like, wow, this is fantastic, or this is good. But the food that they're cooking based upon, what the restaurant wants them to cook, or the owners, is bad. So he's like, oh, you guys can actually cook. So then it's not the cooks, it's not the staff, it's the owners, right? The owners are the ones that are in control of everything, and they're the ones that are making them cook what they want. So then Gordon comes in and teaches the cooks how to cook his way, and he changes the menu and stuff, and they can cook it, and everything works fine. So it's the same thing. It's not the actual cooks, so it's not the teachers, it's not the children, it's not the guns, it's the leadership, it's our government. And they're the ones that are the issue. And at the end of the day, I mean, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And for real, they're being lobbied by all these large corporations, and they're going to do what they're told.
That was I feel like I need to watch that show.
That's a good show.
You made me want to watch that Gordon Ramsay show. I'm just like, man, that sounds like a really good. That's literally like a premise to like the start of like a good anime. A failing business, and this guru comes in. And he helps these people, and they discover the main person who's holding the business back as the owner. And so this new dude comes in, and he takes all the other ones, and they build their own restaurant. And then they battle with that other restaurant, and that other restaurant goes out of business.
Oh my God.
That's like an anime, a manga I read, man, about cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Kitchen Nightmare.
Kitchen Nightmares, what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it recent or?
Nah, they're older. He doesn't make them anymore, but that's when he goes in. He he fixes the restaurants and stuff.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, man, look it up.
I'm
man.
gonna check out some YouTube videos, man.
It's a good show.
That sounds good. That sounds interesting.
It's bingeable. It's 7 seasons. There's like 20 episodes. I mean, there's tons. You're gonna
will never get to it.
For real.
I'm trying to catch up.
How you gonna sit here and say,
Baby,
man, you inspired me to want to watch that, and within the same breath,
because I heard 7 seasons.
I'm never going to do
No, you don't have to watch all 7 seasons, but it's one of them shows where it may just be on.
Like, I don't even have time to watch anime. I have to squeeze in time to catch up on One Piece.
You ever just like been chilling and then you just have show something on?
No.
Okay.
I am literally always doing something.
Well, I'm saying,
and I start to feel bad when I'm watching anime. Like, man, I feel like I'm not doing. I feel like I'm being not productive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would have to watch anime while I'm working, like at my.
Oh man,
my,
you gotta
at my
learn. You
employer
gotta learn
job.
to.
You here's the thing. You gotta remember. Yeah, you gotta remember. Rest is just as important as everything else. You have to. Remember.
I definitely understand that. I definitely understand. It's just like muscles. You can't keep overusing them. You'll get. It's just that I have to get out. It's hard to get out of that mindset. Like, damn it, I'm wasting time right now, man. It's literally hard for me to sit still.
You said something very powerful. It's really about taking that thought. I think actually that's a good topic. So it's really about taking that thought and then changing that, because that's actually, it's not correct. It's actually an error in thinking. So you're not wasting time. You're actually recovering. Yeah, exactly. And when you do go back into work, you're gonna do better.
You know what's funny? I actually experienced something similar this week where I was playing a game.
What game was it?
Oh, wasting time.
Super Smash Brothers.
I mean, you're streaming that. Actually, that's work technically.
Well, yes, but I've been streaming it just a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit more because, the channel's growing. I got over, I got 1,000.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm getting more followers, more subscribers, you know what I mean? So.
Hey, man, who are you?
Sucking up all
Animated
the
now?
Oh, okay. On Twitch?
Anywhere in the world, that's who I am.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
That's who I am.
Okay.
You smell me?
You stream on Twitch, though?
Yeah, but for people who want to catch me on streaming on Twitch, check me out. You know what I mean? If you rock with gaming.
Let them know.
I don't really, it's going to be what it is. But.
I ain't never seen nobody not want to promote
right,
this.
like just.
Nah, it's going to be what it is, man. You know what I mean? But the reason why I bring that up is because I was streaming this week. I was just like, you know what? I just want to enjoy this fucking video game right now. And I was just like, I need a detox. I need a detox from working.
Yep.
Because, I finished the program. I've been working on, building my website. I've been working on this freaking logo. And I'm super meticulous about it. So I'm changing stuff. And you know, I've just been doing a lot, and I was like, you know what? I just need a fucking detox, and I'm about to just fucking play this game and just enjoy it without thinking about anything. And I said, I think I need that for this week.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized. It's just I just needed like a nice little detox, because I mean, there's still things that I do want to accomplish. It's not like I'm not thinking about it, but while I'm playing the game, I'm gonna enjoy the game without like, damn, I should be doing this right now, you
Right.
know, and getting distracted. So, yeah, man.
It's important to be present in moments. Like, I don't think we do that enough. Especially nowadays, you go on a date with somebody, you on your phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important to be
I
present.
never
in
do
moments.
that. I never,
I don't either,
ever
but-
do that. I feel like that is so disrespectful.
I went out on my like one date a little while, like a date in a minute,
A year ago.
and then
8 years later.
she said something like, "Oh, like are you're on your phone. Like I try to be present." And then like, because it was like when I first started getting back into dating, and I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was doing that." And then from then on, moving forward, when I go out on dates, I specifically do not take my phone out. Like, unless they go to the bathroom or
I don't
you know,
even take it out
she's,
when
you
I'm
know,
in the
like.
bathroom.
But for the most part, I keep my phone in my pocket. I'm very intentional about it because I want to. It was something that this girl taught me, which was be present.
Yeah.
And you know that's why I like the understanding that people are in your life for particular reasons, and this was something that was taught to me by a particular girl. She was a Scorpio, of course, and I just was like. You know, like I ended up holding on to her for longer than I should have, but there were things that she taught me. And being present was one big thing that she taught me. And it's something that I've continued to hold on to and focus on. And, you know, as our relationship or whatever was continuing, I was just like, why are we still talking? Like, why are we still doing this? Like, we shouldn't be together. And it also just reaffirmed something I already knew, something that I learned from studying, you know, the Buddhist faith, which was just understanding that when things are supposed to leave us, we need to let them go. And the longer we hold on to things that we should no longer be holding on to, the more they're going to hurt us. So it was just, just people in our lives for specific times, and we get so attached emotionally because we're human, we don't realize it's time to let them go. And it's the same thing with family, friends, you know, any interpersonal relationship, period. So
Knowing when to let go.
knowing when to let go. And when things start to decline and there starts to be turmoil in the relationship, no matter who it's with, if you cannot rebuild or whatever, there's no more benefit, it's time to let go. And then that's one of the biggest problems with marriages, because we get married and we're in this now, we're bound by the government, the system, the law binds us. And then now we're like, well, you got to work it out. And the Bible says you got to do this. It's like, bro, like we don't belong together anymore. But, you know, there are certain points, you know, where, you know, if you got 50 years in, y'all might as well just
Rock it out.
Right, rock out.
You ain't nothing out here for you.
Ain't nothing out here. But people are getting married to people they really shouldn't be married to.
Right,
And I've
course.
done that myself, you know what I mean? But that's, you know, another different topic. But, yeah.
Yeah. What was the initial comment?
The school shootings.
No. Okay.
Oh.
I thought we were past that.
Oh, are we?
Did you want to?
Because that's how we got to this. Then we started talking about the teachers.
You talking about mine when I started my initial thing? You said the initial comment.
Yeah.
Just now?
Yeah.
He don't remember.
Yeah, I do not remember. I was like, what the hell were we talking about? Because I was like, okay, we were talking about the guns, and then we moved to the.
We were talking about relationships, and
I said you shouldn't be on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
was
okay.
saying
That's
be present
okay.
in
Okay,
moments.
the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, the phone. You started getting deep. I was just like,
Oh, yeah, my bad.
What are we talking about right now? But like on the first dates, I make that, like, if I see a girl on her phone, it's a wrap.
yeah.
Mel's so quick to cut
Yeah,
people
It's
off.
a wrap.
He is
He is.
It's one thing.
It is a wrap.
You do one thing wrong.
What is the
It's
point?
over.
That's a waste of time.
Well, maybe
That
she
is
doesn't-
disrespectful.
Maybe she needs you to teach her that.
I'm not a teacher.
Oh, yeah, okay. No, you're correct.
You
no, you're
definitely are
absolutely
not.
correct. You're
definitely
correct. I respect that.
Like, I like, if that was the case, all the big girls that I talked to, they would listen. Because there was actually one.
We had this conversation about the girl with the diabetes, man.
There was actually another girl
Oh, okay.
that I met years ago, and she was a little bigger, and I was like, okay, maybe I can help her get smaller.
How'd that work?
I don't think she was with it. but like the thing is like she was wondering.
I don't think she was with it.
I don't think she was with it because I kept telling her, yeah, health is really important to me, and
Oh, she wasn't picking up.
yeah,
She's like, yeah, I exercise,
Yeah.
I run.
Yeah, she's like,
they're
I'm healthy
they're-
too.
Right, yeah.
and I'm just like, no, I said like I don't eat fast food. I don't eat.
Oh, eat a
processed
lot of food.
like I don't eat a lot of food. I mean, and this was even before I was as strict as I am now. This is when I still ate meat or chicken.
Oh, wow.
I think you said wow, funny.
Oh.
But this was still when I ate like chicken, But and I also told her, I was like, look, I don't have a filter, so I don't know how not to be honest. So if I'm saying something, I want to be able to express it, but I mean no offense, And then I was just like, look, we can't keep talking. I said, because you're much bigger than I expected. And I'm not attracted to it. And I said, it has nothing to do with you. Well, it's not.
It's not your personality.
Everything has everything to do with you.
It's not who you are. Well, look, it's your look. I can't say anything because
Just keep it honest. It's her.
it is.
It's her.
It's her size.
I mean, actually, it's your preference. It's really that's what you're saying. It's not her. It's your preference.
yes, because it just does something to me. Like I'm not attracted to it, and it's nothing like I have.
Let me ask this question. I'm curious what y'all think. Is it when you're physically not attracted to someone, is that really a preference? Do you because you even have a choice in the matter?
No, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a preference. It's just, but
is it my preference to date women instead of men? I'm not physically attracted to men, so is that a
Interesting.
preference? Yeah.
If it's not a preference, then what would it be?
That's what I'm trying to determine.
What's the word for that?
I'm trying to determine, is it a preference? Because it's out of your control. It's not a choice you're making.
Yeah.
And if it's not a preference, what is it? That's what I was trying to. That's what I was asking.
Maybe it's just learned behavior.
Well, no, because I didn't learn not to be attracted to men. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe that's but what you saw are relationships between men and women. Because think about it, like if you grew up in a household where there's two men or two women together, then that may be your preference. Or
But do you think that influences your sexuality?
Right.
I think that it has an influence. What you see when I look at women that you like, it's not that I don't think that they're attractive. A lot of it, if I'm being very honest, a lot of it is me then saying I'm not attracted to them because I don't think that they're going to be attracted to me.
Right.
And I think and I genuinely think at the core, like I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm being very honest. Then what we start to do is we start to then push away or just be like, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. And then we then create these things in our head because we maybe, once again for me, I feel like they're not going to like me.
It's a defense
right?
mechanism.
So as being someone, when I was like 400 pounds, I particularly liked bigger girls because I felt like, well, this is my speed. You know what I mean? Like, why am I going to go after a girl that's 5'8", 135 pounds if she's not going to like me? So what's the point of me just getting rejected and punched in the face? Not literally, but, So I think that over time, we are, what we're attracted to changes based upon how we see ourselves. And then I think a lot of what we're initially attracted to is based upon our conditioning. what we see, which is why I think that in man and female households where there's a mother and a father together, then we see that as the relationship. And I think that we, as children, we pick up on that. And then also when you have families where they are, same-sex families, then their children can be that way, and they're more apt to like the same sex because that's what they see. That's just my personal. That's the best way that I could put it for me.
That's the question I was going to ask you. Like, do you think that the kids are influenced by the gay behavior that they see the closest people to them do? And you think that
I put it like that.
Do you think that does that change who they're attracted to?
I would say yes. It's conditioning, right? Just like anything else. If a child grows up and
you don't think they can be attracted? You don't think I could be attracted to a woman if I was always seeing constant male sexual exchanges?
I think that you can, because it's not just in your household. In the world, you see men and women together. That is what you see. If you are in a same-sex household, then you see a very finite amount of, same sex. But then most of what you see is going to be opposite sex. But if you continually see it, then you see it as an option. And I think that now it's something that's placed in your mind as an option. And the question is, does that seed grow, or does being with the opposite sex grow? And this is just my personal.
But what influences your attraction, though? Like, what influences your attraction?
See, that I think it's more biological than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, when I'm talking about software,
right. And I don't disagree.
hardware.
I don't disagree. I think that 100% they'll be influenced.
Right.
However, yeah, when it comes to the biology, the hardware, you're going to lean more towards the opposite sex. I think because we're hardwired
for the majority of people,
right. I mean, I'm talking the mass majority of people.
The mass majority.
Because let's be honest, there's a lot of same-sex households.
Right.
And I have.
But they're not the majority. Not even close.
Right. It's not the majority, but I'm saying, like, I don't personally know anybody who comes from a same-sex household who was like who became had same-sex partner because of that. But like when I hear people talk about how they grew up, they're still like heterosexual. I just hear it.
I think we're in it right now. Mm-hmm. Like, so a lot of our think about when we grew up, that was very taboo. Like, people being openly gay or lesbian, whatever, it was extremely taboo, and it wasn't something that we saw. It's just now becoming to the point where it's like open, and those people are now adults, and they're now having children. So we're really starting to see the beginning of it.
If anything, it kind of feels like it's marketed, because like you said, it's. I feel like it's more out there on commercials and
it is
TV, and I feel like they make it a point.
This is to
be like, hey, we got some gay stuff happening too.
The community is the minority with a very loud voice, and it makes the community look much larger than it is, because it's not. Like, if you look at the majority, I mean, and I'm gonna say probably out of all people, we're in the 90% of all households are, and I don't have the stats on this, I could be wrong, but I would say that over 90% are heterosexual households. So you have a very small community or a very small segment that have a very loud and large voice right now, and a lot of it is being marketed to people. If that's the way you want to, I mean, that's a great way to place it.
Yeah, it feels marketed. I mean, people gonna be gay, but I feel like
it's just funny. I don't know why you say it like that.
I mean, people are gay. I mean,
that is
so
gender.
That is what it is.
What?
Oh, did you know that there were 76 genders?
I thought it was 126.
Oh, I just read a medical article on it last night.
Oh, they reduced it. Okay.
Yeah,
they speeded some of them up.
It's Pride Month. It's being marketed. It was on Google. It just came up.
There's how many genders?
From the article that I read, which is a medical article, there's currently 76.
How?
Well, you have a man, you have a woman, you have a tall man.
No, This is not the conversation. This is not the podcast for that.
I know.
And I'm not-
I
and I'm-
literally don't
and
understand
I'm-
how there's 76.
I'm not the one to answer this question. Just like we
You
had
said 76.
there's 76 genders, not sexes, genders. Because
Okay. What is the difference between
A gender and a
gender
sex.
and sex? I don't know. I don't. If they're.
It's the language is very confusing if you're not in that world.
yeah,
It's very-
I don't
know
know
either.
either.
I don't know either.
Because you have gender identity, which is how you identify, and then you have like sex, which has to do with like your biological. But then I don't actually know,
I
and I don't
think
want to
it's-
and I don't want to
it's
speak
identity?
ignorantly. I don't want to speak
I
ignorantly.
think it's similar to how you've got ethnicity and you have nationality, kind of like that. You know,
Why is it so difficult to understand?
Because you've
Why
never-
is it so difficult?
because you've never studied it. Number one,
True.
Yeah.
True.
and it's complicated.
It is.
It's very complicated.
But if you're in that world, like, no disrespect, right? We're not being disrespectful. Like, it's a lot. And honestly, I just
76 genders.
I don't live in that world. I don't really like have like close friends that are in that community. I mean, I have people that I skate with or whatever that, you know, they're part of the LGBT.
How do you even come up with that?
LGBTQIA2S plus. Oh no, yeah, it got. Yeah,
they got like 6.
yeah, and I'm literally, it's a very long acronym.
very long.
Yeah, and they added stuff. So the two plus is for Native Americans. Yeah, so Native Americans, if you identify
They
as,
just claiming everybody.
they got their
But
own,
straight
they got their
Wait,
own
gay Native Americans?
Yes, they have their own segment. They have just like
Okay,
Native
let's-
Americans carve out a piece of the land. They got their casinos. They don't follow our rules.
Let's move on. This is too much.
It's too much.
I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's that's why I can't answer your question. It's too much. 76. That's all I got for you.
Well, that's news to me.
Hey man, it's in this, and the only reason
I'm
that I brought that up
I'm
is
really
because
confused,
you
bro.
mentioned marketing and it's Pride Month, and it popped up on my Google, and I clicked on. I said, well, this would be an interesting
June
read.
is Pride Month.
Marketing.
You know what's frustrating for me? I love those colors.
Yeah.
I love those freaking colors.
I mean, they're all colors. They're colors. They're
Is it just
they're
colors?
They're
colors.
literally the chakra.
Yeah.
They're literally the chakra.
But if you wear them or if you whatever, the people just think, oh, you're gay.
yeah.
Bro, like
it's
come on.
it's so unfair. Like I love PayPal does this gay pride banner or whatever. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
They're-
I
they're
just
beautiful
love those
colors.
colors together.
And
And I put it in a lot of my branding, but it's not oriented to. It doesn't give you gay pride, but I use a lot of them colors.
They're good. They're really good colors, and they're very powerful colors. They're the rainbow. There's a reason that the minority has such a loud voice, and I think once again you said the word marketing, and I think it's a really good, interesting way to put that, because it is.
To go back to harken back to our previous conversation that's talking about the kids in school,
How are we going back to that?
because we didn't necessarily put a bow on it. We
Oh,
just
no.
like transitioned.
Go ahead and put a bow on it for us, Mal.
I personally do not like guns in any capacity. So I wish that guns never existed.
Oh,
I wish no one in this world had a gun. But obviously I don't live in the world that has that
That's-
mindset, or that thought or that action. It's never going to happen because it's here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's here. So how do I cope in a world full of guns? How do I feel about people having guns?
Move to Japan and learn how to fight with a sword.
Dude, I wish we can honestly just go back to motherfuckers squaring up. Square up. Like if countries have problems, you get your best boxer, I get my best boxer.
So
Let's
Rocky.
square up.
So Rocky.
Let's go. You know what
I mean, honestly, it would be very easy to, war is terrible.
Yeah.
It's inefficient, It does nothing
It does
positive.
nothing but kill, hurt,
It's-
impoverish,
it's
change.
super inefficient.
It's just the worst thing ever.
But
man.
it's by design, and this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? When it comes to the school system, and what I'm talking about when it comes to these shootings, everything is by design, and it's so the core issue never gets addressed because it's like, what are we in this day and age? What are we actually fighting over? Like, what are we actually fighting over?
Right.
Oil, land, like
Still?
All
like
the land is gone.
golds.
bro,
What are you fighting over? It's absolutely absurd. And it's the people of these countries don't have any problem with each other. We enjoy each other on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
You know, somehow all of the people, you're talking 99% or more, they all enjoy each other. But then there's these people in power positions. Well, he did this to my father, or he did this to my family, and because they have all this power, then they get to manipulate wars and put hundreds of thousands of people in the grave. It's absolute. I genuinely hate that stuff.
It literally feels like we're in an episode of something. We're in the episode.
Oh,
of
that's a
something
good
right
name
now.
for a TV show, an episode of something.
So Mel, so what do you think about? So what do you think about the teachers being allowed to then have guns
Tote
in
tools.
the school? If they so choose, so it's not going to be necessarily a mandate, right? Like you're not
just
going
they
to be
have an
told.
option.
If you desire, if you own a gun and you shoot regularly, yada yada yada. If you want to have it, you can keep it in the safe.
I mean,
you're
bruh,
allowed to.
If I was a teacher and these badass kids, sit your ass down.
It's a horrible joke, but
Yeah,
Terrible.
because if these prestigious schools gonna get it, schools in the hood gonna get it.
so then what if they had?
if
what if
anything,
they,
the
what if they-
motherfucking schools in the hood should be the first one with teachers having
So
guns.
what if they had gun lockers, right, where they had some pistols, like in specific places around schools, like up high, students couldn't get to them, and they were code locked or
Up high?
biological locked.
It's
by,
all bad.
I'm just saying,
it's
I know, I'm
literally
just,
all bad.
I understand.
It's literally all
I
bad.
understand. I'm just trying to.
And you know, and I'm responding. It's all bad. You're never going to create a scenario in my mind where it makes sense for
None of it makes sense.
for a teacher or
Students.
for students to have access to weapons in the school.
So then, what about having?
like
so
you
then-
go to school.
What if every student? What if every school
learn.
has a security guard? An armed
I mean,
security
most
guard?
schools have security guards. I think
I mean, I've been to schools with both.
you're talking armed security.
Armed, not
Yeah,
not
I mean,
not the rent-a-cops.
I don't have a problem with armed security.
Or why don't they just put police in the schools?
Well, that's not, police
Well,
are
it's
already
police aren't
police
gonna-
are
yeah.
already too much. and
You have to subcontract.
yeah, this is someone who's going to be there all the time. Like not just a police officer. You were there specifically. One person, right? One person per, and maybe you have a company. Maybe there's going to be a company. Maybe there's a business opportunity.
It's a blue ocean.
what is a police meant to do?
Yeah,
What's wrong with the idea of a police being in schools
because
if
I feel
they're
like
there
they're
to
already.
protect and
I
serve?
feel like they're already stretched
they're
too
already
thin
stretched
anyway.
too thin. That's the problem.
They don't make no money.
True that.
There was an ad that came out for the Uvalde whatever place in Texas, and they're starting people off at $35,000.
But okay,
Yeah, it's absolutely
You
absurd.
you need to pay them 50 whatever, like, and you're there.
100,000.
You're
the
there.
same thing with the teachers.
Well,
they need to pay the police officers, the
Right,
ones who
right.
save lives.
Right.
And
like
supposed
there's
to
so much
uphold
there's so
justice.
much corruption in the police just in that system.
Yeah.
Sure, if you pay them more, it's not going to eliminate all the corruption, but like a lot of cops, they're stressed,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
going to steal a little weed,
It's a
and they're going to.
stressful ass job.
Man, I can't be a cop. I'm stealing. I'm dirty. I ain't gonna lie to you.
If you was a cop,
I'm dirty. No, not. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. Like I'm not gonna be
yeah.
dirty like hurt anybody. But if I'm giving you a smooth,
seizing.
if I'm giving you a smooth pat down, and you're a known drug dealer, and I hit a wide, and I'm gonna be like, hey man, what's this? He gonna be like, hey man, like if it's just some weed, but he got
so
10,
you'd be like
he got
Denzel
10
training
racks.
day.
He got 10
Yeah.
racks.
Yeah.
I'm arresting him.
Y'all gonna
right?
do this to me?
I'm arresting him. You know what I mean? Because he was caught for weed. And it was weed, right?
Whoa.
And he's a known weed dealer.
And you gonna
he got
take his 10
10,000. And I'm
racks.
like, what's this, man? Oh, it's 10 racks. Who's this? Hey man, I don't know who this is. Oh, okay. So if you don't know who this is, I don't know who you are. How about that? All right, man, get out of here. and I'm keeping that 10
He's
racks.
Denzel all day.
That's what I'm saying. But listen, I understand this about myself, and I'm not going to be I'm not a cop.
That's very
And
responsible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, hey, man.
Actually, people would probably prefer cops. Like
Hey,
that.
man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
I'm not-
and it's not even just in that scenario. That's an extreme scenario.
I ain't gonna be
but, like,
shaking people down, like, you know what I mean? I'm not doing all that. I'm just saying, like,
But
I do my job.
imagine you catch somebody driving drunk home, and they're being cooperative. You could just tell.
So
that
what kind of police officer would you be then?
Man,
what kind of police? Mel, you
If
are
you
really
were a police officer, what kind of police officer would you uphold the law?
no. Because a lot of the law I don't agree with.
True.
So no, I'm not.
Man, I'm gonna get that person home, man.
I'm not gonna uphold the law. I would be a good person.
Yeah.
You know, and I would actually do what I think that police officers
moral
are-
code.
Yeah, it's a moral code. Now I'm no, because of the justice system is really messed up.
So you would basically judge your police officer duties based on how you feel is the right way.
Basically, I don't need to be a police officer.
Yeah, that's
either.
why we're not cops.
Because I'm gonna do what's in the best interest of myself and that person at that time versus what protocol says. So like for example, if somebody they get in a car accident, right? And I'm there just for the car accident, but I smell weed or something. I'm not pushing that. Be like,
Yeah.
well, what's in your car? And now I got to search the car. Let's look at the canine and let's turn this accident into something more than what it was. Like,
Right.
Because like I know people who have been hit. They've been hit, but they won't call the cops or they won't because they know they're going to get a ticket or they might even go to jail because they have an illegal substance in the car. I think,
or they don't have a license or whatever.
or whatever. And I understand if I'm high and I cause an accident, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like the protocol should be different for those two scenarios. Like I'm an intelligent person. I know, okay, everybody's agreeing, okay, I'm sorry, officer, I caused the accident, but this other person smells like weed or whatever the case may be. Do I then put them in jail just because I just think it's
Interesting enough, my friend, I had a friend who just got a DUI, and the only reason he got a DUI is he was leaving a bar and he was they was at the beginning of the night, so they weren't like drunk, but they were drunk enough obviously to get a DUI. He got hit, so he got T-boned. And the guy apparently got out of the car. There was two of them in the car. One of the dudes got out of the car. And he was like, "Oh my God, dude, my bad. I'm so sorry." Da 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 da. Right, T-boned him. But then because when the police officer got there, they had been drinking. It was now their fault. Everything got pushed onto them, and now he's going for a DUI. Da da da. And it's just like, and so what you're saying is, and I'm probably the same way. Like, listen, man. If the dude said it's my fault, you got T-boned going through an intersection. The person who got hit probably was in the right of way. That's just, obviously the cops, they got to do their due diligence, right, and figure it out. But if you figure it out and it's clear that the person who hit the other car, who T-boned them, was in the wrong, hey man, I'm gonna give you a test, man. We'll get you out of here. That's me, right? Like, because you already got hit. Your car was wrecked. Like, your boy's in the other seat who's hurt. Like, we are hurt, and then we're the victim, and now I'm getting a DUI also?
which now is more money out of your pocket.
Right.
You're driving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just.
And let's be honest, it's very easy to be over the legal limit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Four drinks within an hour.
You could say, okay, well, he was sloshed, blah, blah, blah. Or he could just be over the legal limit.
Yeah. And a lot of times, depending on the person, based upon your tolerance, I mean, obviously, based upon your tolerance, you can what is a 0.8 to you is going to be different from a 0.8 to me, right? Like how we function. Are you impaired? Yes, you're both going to be impaired. But the level of impairedness is very different based upon your tolerance, which there's no guide for that. Mm-hmm. And that's just why there's just a number. So
how do they even come up with like, hey, this is the limit? Like, what do they test?
I don't know how they came up with it, but I mean they tested by blood alcohol level. And then the basic way to determine your blood alcohol is basically your body will digest or metabolize 1 drink per hour. So 2 ounces of alcohol, or 2 ounces of liquor, like 4 ounces of wine, 8 ounces of beer. So a can of beer. So you basically, if you have 4 beers, you just sitting there drinking, just hanging out, chilling, you're at a 0.08. You can get a DUI. In some places, it's lower, actually. It's 0.06. But if you have 4 shots all within an hour, you're technically over the legal limit. It may not even hit you yet. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be over the legal limit. So...
And this is not to, you know what I'm saying, just to, you know, I don't want to make it sound like we're advocating for drunk drivers or something.
No, we're not.
Because you know, that happens, right? People
Yeah.
people drink irresponsibly.
Right.
Things happen, you know. But what I'm saying is, you can tell, like you could tell when somebody's sloshed. You could tell when someone's impaired or what, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that I think a lot more things should be at the discretion of an officer, assuming that officer has gone through a level of training, which I think the amount of training they get is like, it's terrible. Like they don't get nearly enough training for everything that they do. I mean, in order to be a teacher, you got to go to school for 6 years. To be a
Yeah.
police officer, 6 months. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like anyway, the system just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like there's so many obvious flaws in every aspect of this system in our world. And it's like, bro, why does no one care? Like we just keep on letting things happen.
So that's why you couldn't be a police officer?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
My
yes.
moral code is going to determine a lot more than the law. And I just couldn't. That's why I'm not.
The closest I've ever gotten to working for any kind of like government entity was the firefighter.
That's what I was going to do the same thing in Ohio, too.
Yeah, they had one at I think it was some energy thing, either Duke Energy or
So
something.
like a fair, like a fair where you go in for a job fair type situation?
Kind of, but yeah, it was like maybe 50 or 100 people all in one area sat down, took this test, and like one of my close friends actually met him reunited with him up there, and we got each other's contact information. But yeah, I didn't pass it. I think I passed it, but
You
there were
scored
other
lower.
people had higher scores than me. You know, so I didn't have like.
Did
You
they do a
get to
physical
move
fitness
on.
test there, too?
They would have, but not there. I don't think.
Oh,
there.
okay,
I think-
okay.
I
This
didn't-
was just
You
a
got to
written-
pass that first test.
Yeah. So if this was Naruto, I didn't make it past the first round. They caught me cheating on the test. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay, I understand.
But yeah, so yeah, I didn't go. So that was the closest I've ever been to like any kind of government job. I've never even thought about being a police officer.
Nah, me neither.
Nah, me either. That's why that question just threw me through. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not nothing. I mean, the way we grew up.
No one thinks, but you know what? I want to be a police
Well,
officer.
no,
I mean,
no.
yeah,
they-
some-
we grew up.
we-
We grew up in
we
Cincinnati.
grew up
Man,
in
we
different
grew up.
ways.
You're not gonna be one of the boys.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be one of the boys.
I remember being 6 to 8 years old. Cam, I don't know if you remember Cam.
Yeah, down the street.
Cam running down the street, 5-0, 5-0. Like, we were children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's just like it's still ingrained into it's ingrained into me that the police are not good people.
Yeah.
They're not good thing. They're not good.
There's what is the benefit of the police? They're only gonna. Here's the thought. They're only gonna make things worse.
Yes.
I mean, there are very few scenarios where I'm calling police.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, you have life threatening.
Yeah.
Where
I agree.
I have to use police to scare you from or whatever, like life threatening situations. Other than that, I'm not calling the police.
Yeah. I don't. My mindset never ever goes to the police and
Yeah.
isn't that crazy? Like, it's literally the last thing. I don't even know. I would call if I'm in my house and there's you know what I'm saying, like, I know someone's trying to break in or something, I probably would call the police. I
Yeah.
mean, I got it, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Yeah.
you
You know
probably
what I'm
don't
saying?
always?
But-
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted.
But,
you know
but
what I
you know,
mean?
in that
That-
scenario, you don't want, like, when you go through gun training, it's like, this is the last ditch ever.
Right.
You don't ever want to just, that's not your first thing. you
Oh,
know?
somebody trying to get in? Okay, like, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to, because now you're introducing a lethal weapon and you need to be ready to use it, and your whole mindset should be different. So unless I'm met with lethal force, that's not something I would want to do. So I might call them in that instance. You know what I mean? And I'll probably keep the dude at bay, like, hey, I got a pistol, don't, something like that, and I'll call the police. But I mean, let's be honest, they're not gonna find him.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, like, I mean, I have been robbed 2 times. I have been able to give the police in both situations literally like all the information they need to catch the people, and they're just like, we'll get to it if we can. We'll send a detective out on Tuesday. It's like, bro, it's hot right now.
Yeah.
Like literally, I can tell you, I'm on my phone, and with the one robbery, I was on my phone and I was getting charges on my bank card because they got my wallet. I was getting it in real time, and you could literally see, oh, they was at UDF. Okay,
Oh, I remember this.
yeah, it's literally down the street. Then they went to two UDFs. Then they went to a McDonald's, and you could see the path they're going. Then they went to the gas station because you could see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, it's happening. You can find them. You can catch them. And they're like, well, we'll do our best to.
Hey, man, they leave it on the bank, man.
That's
You get them
so
charges, man. They're
messed
fraud,
It's like,
man.
what did I
get
call you
You get them
for?
taking them off. They only make situations worse. What are they going to do?
I would have been better off rounding up my boys and just
Hit the streets.
because the time I wasted waiting for them to come and everything. And then I'm like, okay, cool, fine. At least have the detective go and pull the cameras. They ain't doing that.
they ain't doing
That's
nothing.
TV like a mug. They not pulling
What's
cameras.
the point? And if ain't no murder, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Because your bank is literally going to just take all those charges off.
But it's not. It's about okay.
But you
if
got robbed,
police,
though.
I got robbed. If they took my CD player, they took clothes, they busted my window. Like it's not about just getting the charges back. If police, and this is not on the officers. This is the system, by the way. But if police officers did that, people would steal and rob less because your chance of getting caught is much higher. Like if they did quote unquote real police work, then but once again, most of these police officers are stressed to
They're
the max.
overworked, man.
They
They're
don't have
overworked.
they don't have what they need to do their job. So I get it. I'm not blaming the individual people. But this is why I don't like those systems. I'm not putting myself in that position to be in that system.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you put yourself in a position to be in that system and it's so unreliable, you might as well just you might as well just handle it yourself.
Right.
Handle it yourself. So, yeah, I've never thought of being a police officer. My perception of a police officer has always been, if it was like curfew time, I would see the boys. They'd come up the street on Sparkle. We'd be on Glen Orchard. They'll come up on Sparkle. Oh, here come the boys. We just run.
Mm-hmm.
We immediately run away. So there won't be a scenario for that. Okay, I guess we can put a bow on it. I'm not sure how long we've been recording all together.
It's been a little while.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, this has been the animated Mel show.
Try
with
again.
Chris James.
Try
No.
again.
This has been the animated Mel show with Chris James and Hollywood Steven. Hollywood Steven.
Cool
Vacation Steven has entered the chat.
Vacation, Steve.
Vacation. Vacation.
I mean,
Where you going?
nowhere.
Oh.
And I got no bay. So I'm just
Just
You
chilling.
fronting is what
I
you
literally
It's
no
literally
bay, no cation, but it's Vacation Steven.
Okay. Well, we've had fun. We will see you all next time. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment, got some questions, and we will answer them. And next week, we're going to have a much more solid structure because I know we're all over the place today. And because, this water balloon fight.
Hey man, they got us.
Water
they got
balloon
us.
fight.
This water balloon
Squirt
fight.
gun.
Oh, sorry.
The
It
squirt
was
guns,
squirt
man.
gun. This little squirt gun fight.
And they got us all thrown off,
Yeah, they
man.
got us
And the
all
children
thrown-
might be on next week too, man.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
They might make a guest appearance.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see you all next time. Peace and love.
Peace.